Hello and welcome back, my beautiful people. On our path to become a full stack developer, we need to cover the front end. So, we already had a series of Python tutorials, which I will link you in the description if you didn't check it out yet. And now, we are covering the front end. We want to get into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to make some web development, later go to React.js or something like this. Yeah, so let's get started. First, we need another editor because I think PyCharm is cool for Python, but for HTML and other stuff, I prefer Visual Studio Code. Therefore, you can simply go to the Visual Studio Code official website and download it. Here, I will link you this website in the description as well. And let's get rid of this. If you downloaded it and installed it correctly, you will see the Visual Studio Code in here. There, you have your Explorer on the left hand side, where you simply can open a folder on your local machine and in there put in your files. Like before with PyCharm, they are exactly similar in this way. For the settings, HTML and CSS and JavaScript, you don't need to download anything except the Visual Studio Code. But in this series, I want to use like one extension which is necessary and the others which will help you throughout the series. Therefore, you can go on the left hand side to extensions, and of course the FM Dark theme, if you like it. This is just the background of the code and this code highlighting in which colors it is, and the background if it's dark or something else. Then the most important thing I recommend you to install is the live server. Therefore, you can simply go in. If you didn't install it, here's an install button and simply install it. There we can later use our HTML files in a live server. If you have, for example, in JavaScript a timeline, then we have like a timing where everything goes on and on. Pretty helpful. So I recommend you live server, pretty good. And then of course the prettier code formatter. This is for JavaScript, CSS, and HTML as well, and for much other languages. This will help us if we, for example, write a code and save it later. This will format it for us. Like if you didn't tab it in and this looks not nice, then it will do it automatically and have some state of the art for good code formatting. Here, these are the two extensions I recommend you to install. The first one, the live server, should be necessary, but yeah, install both of them. This is good. And then in my this is my folder, and in here we simply create, let's get rid of this. I create a new one to see how it's going. We can right click, new file, and call it index. And we're starting with HTML, so we make an HTML. Yeah, you created your first HTML file. Congratulations. And now, how is HTML working? HTML, we can simply call a hello world. Because HTML is the hypertext markup language, which is comparable to a structured text. Now, save it, the file. If you write it, then you see here the circle, and if you saved it like this, then there's an X and the circle disappears. So you have now two possibilities how to see your HTML files. First one is you right click, go to Reveal on File Explorer, and then a folder will open where you stored your file, and in here you can, under Properties, right click Properties, change your default browser which you want to open this file with. I love Chrome. You can use anything else, but the inspect tools from Chrome are pretty good. So Chrome is for web development the best browser. And if we open it, we see, oh, here's our index.html, and we get back our hello world. And here is our local path to this file. Now, we got the extension of the live server. This is the other way how you can open it. And this is the much better way. you can right click and open with live server now if you installed this extension. If you don't see it and want to do it like me, then go to the extensions and install the live server right now. Because now you get a 127.0.0.1 on this port, and there's your index.html. What this means, the 127.0.0.1 is an address for your local host. Like, you have currently a server on your machine running, you could compare it like this, and on the port 5500, there's your file currently loading. And you get the same output, but it's better because if we now change something in the file, we don't need to guide to our folder. We can simply right click and open it. And if you have something like a timeline where something should happen like 5 seconds after something else, then you have now the possibility to let it run. So live server, a pretty cool tool. And now we want to go to HTML. Here you see we have a hello world. That's no HTML yet. Because we want to go to our first tag. Our first tag is, let's use a strong. We get rid of this and check. We make like the less sign, then put in the name. There are everything is proposed for you. You can simply check them and then you close it. And normally Visual Studio Code is the cool thing. It automatically closes this tag for you because you need an open tag where you put in the creator, the last sign, then the creator sign behind, and in there your tag. And you always have, let's get rid of this. This is always the opening sign. Like you have this, and in there you have the name of your tag. And yeah, almost everything you opening, you need to close on the other side. Not everything, because there are some exceptions, which you will see later. But how you close something? Closing is you simply write the same thing as the opening, but put a slash before the tag name. Like this looks similar to this, except we have a slash in here, and the slash says we are closing it right now. And you can imagine HTML is like a tree structure. You have something opening and closing. And in there you have something else, which is in the tag. And now we put in the hello world in this tag, and the strong tag does nothing else than saying, okay, this text should be displayed in a bold version. So we save it. We have our server opened, and now we refresh, and you see now it's bold. We can zoom right in, and now this could be looking pretty ugly, but this is only HTML. Play in HTML. We will later see CSS, which will make us some font colors, some font sizes, some font families, and make the beauty of our website. But now we simply go to the construct of the, like this is the bone, and later the skin, which should be beautiful. This is then our CSS, and the JavaScript in the end will make something like if you have a button and click on it, we can make a pop-up or something like this. This can be all achieved with JavaScript later. But now we start with the HTML, which are our bones of the website. Yeah. And now this isn't a good HTML. We will now make the basic HTML you should include in every file you program. I will after this, I will give you a tip how you can automatically put this in your files. But now we will make it from the beginning. To get rid of this, and we're always starting with an exclamation mark. Put in there our doc type, and what doc type should it be? This should be an HTML doc type to let the browser know, oh, this is an HTML file, so he can access it and see, okay, this is HTML, we get it. Then the next thing is we need the initial structure, like this is the root of everything, and it's called HTML. It's automatically closing later on, and in here we store everything. And in this HTML we have two parts. You have always your head and your body. Your body is everything of structure you want to display on your website. This is the bottom of this part, And the head is like the title of the website. Like if we open here our website, we have here a title. This title is in the head. If you want to have there something like an icon or something like this is also the head. And the meta tags. Char set, some tags which should be seen by Google, how they see your website and should rate it. But yeah, the body is the most important part because everything you see in here will be on this white website. You will be storing in the body. Therefore, we make the head. Close it, and you see the head is in the HTML, but the body is another part under the head. And now in our head we said there's our title, so we make in here a title and we make it our first website like this. If we save it and refresh our site, we see our first website. Easy as that. And of course, we'll make every time a meta tag. A meta tag which will say that our char set is equal to UTF-8. UTF-8 means we have all, like almost all letters in there. And the cool thing about meta, this is the first exception you see where you don't need something to close it. The meta, closing by itself, you can write it like this, make the slash in the end, will do the same, but you can also leave it and simply do the meta tag. And as we had our hello world, this is something we want to display on our website. Therefore, we do it in our body because everything in the body is displayed in the website. And here we do our strong. There's the strong tag, and in here you can put your text which you want to display, like hello world. And as you already seen, every time I save my file, the pretty formatter will make it pretty. So I don't need, I could insert something like here, we make another strong tag, strong, and I write it here, something like this, and if I save it, oh, yeah, it's pretty formatted. Get rid of this, and let's check what's happening. And we see the hello world again. And I'm already, if it's a little bit tinier on your PC, you will see it tinier because I zoomed in, and it's here. Like this. And now you already have your basic template you should use each time you use an HTML file. And now I give you a secret tip. You can get rid of this. And in Visual Studio Code, HTML is easy auto-completed. Therefore, we simply make an exclamation mark, hit the enter, and everything is created for you. That's beautiful. Yeah, and it's like I said, every time the doc type, the HTML, yeah, the language isn't necessary, but it's equal to English. That's good. The UTF-8, here you have your title. Then you have the viewport, which will have the scale of the width and the width. And in here, in our body, we can now make our own code. Here we can put on our strong again, which will make something bold. Hello world. And after that we say, for example, hello world 2, which shouldn't be bold then anymore. And let's have a look. Yeah, simple as that. And you see, this already stood there if I didn't reload the file. Like if you put in here something like hello again, and now I simply save the file. And if I open now my Chrome, then the hello automatically stands there, and we don't need to refresh our website. That's another cool thing with the live server. If you have the basic template, which I showed you of the HTML, and open your site with a live server, simply you need to save it, and the site will automatically refresh. So we don't need to refresh it each time manually. This is a pretty cool thing. And all in all, this was the first part of our HTML tutorial series. Hope you liked the video. Hope you are interested in web development, because the next part will be a right tutorial about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And if you want to see something specific, let me know in the comments and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your attention.